Hello and welcome to February 10th episode of UMass Sports Weekly, your number one source for UMass sports. I'm your host, Chris Corso. We have a ton of new content from all the happenings in UMass athletics from this week. Could the UMass men's basketball team keep their winning streak alive against LaSalle? How did the lacrosse team perform in their first game of the new season? And Minutemen hockey forward Frank Vatrano will be joining us in the studio for an exclusive interview tonight. We'll be right back with a jam-packed UMass hockey segment. This is UMass Sports Weekly.
This is UMass Sports Weekly.
Welcome back to UMass Sports Weekly. The UMass hockey team took an 8-17-1 record into a matchup with Hockey East foe Northeastern at the Mullen Center on Friday. Our own hockey expert Liam Byrne was there at the game with the story.
A tough way to start the game as Troy Power receives a hard shot that leaves him slow to get up. Another look at this. He looks to get hit in the head by an elbow as he gets the pass off to his teammate. But the Minutemen seem to bounce back as Steven Guzzo takes a shot and Riley McDougal comes up with the rebound goal. This puts UMass up 1-0. Now we have Dennis Kramchenko, who has been on fire recently for the Minutemen, whips it to the left side, puts it on the top left, and he's been on fire. He puts UMass up by 2. But now Northeastern it's their turn. They take a hard slap shot from near the blue line by Colton Saucerman, who puts it in and puts the Huskies on the board. It's now 2-1 UMass. And then again for the Huskies, they get a goal from John Stevens to tie it at 2, and this is a good one, folks. Now we have UMass on the face-off. The Minutemen take it, and they win it, and comes up, here's Patrick Lee with the left side, and he makes this shot. This freshman grabs the ice and bangs into the boards. It's 3-2 UMass now. They take the lead. Northeastern scored before this to tie the game up, but with this one, Trevor Owens gets the 4th goal for the Huskies to put them up by 1 in the 3rd. Northeastern added one more, and here's Coach Micheletto on the impact of losing Troy Power and how UMass responded.
So 7 minutes in, you lose a guy, and we're already down Jacobellis tonight. Guys rallying. The energy on the bench, you're hearing voices, guys picking each other up. Obviously, we continue to push forward. There are momentum swings that we managed very, very well. Kept pucks to the outside and the perimeter as the game wore on, and maybe our legs started to go a little bit. I give our guys a heck of a lot of credit. I was really impressed with how they circled the wagons early going in a very difficult game.
Welcome back to UMass Sports Weekly. I'm here with our hockey analyst, and that's Liam Byrne, and we're here to talk that first game against Northeastern. Mm-hmm. Now, we saw in that first period at the end there, Troy Powers goes down with a tough injury. Can you tell me a little bit about this injury and how long you think he's going to be out for?
Well, Coach Micheletto said, after that injury, the bench got really excited. They see one of their main guys go down like that very, very badly, And, they're riled up. They want to score a few more goals, and they did. They got 2 right after another. Riley McDougal had one, and Kravchenko had another one. But then Northeastern came back with 2 of their own. But, it's good that Micheletto noticed that the team was, getting up and screaming and, banging the sticks on the wall and everything like that, because that's what you need sometimes when you lose one of your best players and you need a little boost. You need a boost to keep going and be like, all right, we got to figure this out. So what it seemed was that the player from Northeastern left his feet and elbowed him right in the head. And all we have now is that we know that it's just an upper body injury. It doesn't look good. That's what Coach Micheletto said after the game. He just said it did not look good, Chris.
So you can't give me a great timetable on when you think he'll be back in the lineup?
Not really, no. There's no reports on it that I looked into. But now that, Jacobellis is gone too. He got hurt as well, and Power. So those are 2 forwards that UMass will have to replace, and maybe some defensemen will have to come in and fill their spots at forward.
Okay, well, we saw in the highlight tape that we just showed, this was a tough game for the Minutemen. Obviously a tough loss against a Hockey East foe. What happened at the end? Why couldn't they hold on after coming back a little bit after that injury to Powers?
Well, I just think, they started off hot. You know, they came out with 2 goals right in a row, and Northeastern didn't really know what to do. But, after that, they just scored 3 unanswered goals. Northeastern had 3 right in a row. And I think the defense was a little taken by it. They're like, oh, man, they're coming back. Mm-hmm. And plus with the injury from Troy as well. And I think they were losing a couple guys, like I mentioned earlier, Jacobellis and Power in the forwards. So, I don't know, they just probably were taken back a little bit by the injury. And they lost their spunk a little bit, All
right, well, Liam, that was definitely a tough loss for the Minutemen. So we'll be right back, and we're going to talk about the game against UMass Lowell that happened the next day on Saturday at the Mullen Center. Stay tuned. Welcome back to UMass Sports Weekly. After the tough loss to Northeastern, the Minutemen faced off against their former goaltender in Kevin Boyle and UMass Lowell on Saturday. See if Steve Mastelers could beat his former teammate in the matchup at the Mullen Center. Here's our own Tommy Calautti with the story.
On Saturday night, the UMass Minutemen took on arch-rival Lowell in a Hockey East matchup. Then in the second period, Dominic Trento wins a puck battle, Shane Walsh shoots, and Dennis Kravchenko cleans up the trash to give the Minutemen a 1-0 lead. Moments later, a puck squirts out front, and Dominic Trento buries it home to give the Minutemen a 2-0 lead. Then, on a UMass power play, Brendan Montar slides the puck over to Frank Vatrano, who knocks it right in past Kevin Boyle to give the Minutemen a 3-0 lead. The onslaught continues as Ray Pagosi slides the puck to Vatrano, who snipes it past Kevin Boyle and extends the lead even further for the Minutemen. Then, on a Lowell 5-on-3, Michael Kapla risks the puck past Steve Mastelers to cut the lead to 4-1. Then, the sky seems to be falling as Dylan Zink risks the puck past Steve Mastelers to cut the lead in half, 4-2. But then Shane Walsh saves the day by winning a battle and sliding it past Kevin Boyle to give the Minutemen a 5-2 lead. And that's how the game would finish, as the Minutemen would coast to a 5-2 victory over Lowell. After the game, I caught up with Frank Vatrano, who had 2 goals, and Brendan Montar, who finished with 2 assists.
It all feels good. It's always a big confidence booster, but tonight I thought it was a great team effort. I thought it was the best 60 minutes we put together all year, and if we keep doing that, I think we're going to do some great things here down the stretch.
Yeah, you know what? Ever since I came in here, I just try to use my skating to my advantage. I thought this weekend I used that pretty well, and like Frank said, this tonight was a great team effort there, and it's probably the best 60 minutes we've played so far, so it's definitely a good feeling.
Welcome back to UMass Sports Weekly. I'm here with John Andersen. How you doing, John?
Good, Chris. How you doing?
And we're here to talk about the game against UMass Lowell on Saturday night at the Mullen Center. So, start off, how did the offense fare without Steven Jacobellis and Troy Power? We just talked about these injuries in the game beforehand, and how'd they fare without these 2 players?
Well, we weren't really sure why coming into the game. I was actually broadcasting with WMUA, and we didn't know why Steven Jacobellis wasn't playing, but we were told that it was an undisclosed injury. He wasn't cleared to play, which is fine. But because Patrick Lee actually filled that spot, that top line spot, very well. He's a great passer. He certainly fills that spot much better than he fills the empty seat in my college writing class. But, that's beside, hey, they're on the road a lot. I know, it's rough. But as far as Troy Power goes, the captain, he's throwing the body around a lot. They rally around this guy. To lose him is really a big loss for this team. But Steven Jacobellis, obviously, 3rd leading scorer on the team, 19 points. He's a big loss, but they filled those voids very well in this game.
Now, this was a great win for the Minutemen. Just a great win to come out and beat their old goaltender, Kevin Boyle. Obviously, he transferred to UMass Lowell with the new coach in Micheletto.
Traitor.
So, Steve Mastelers and him would go at it back in the day. They had that competition for the starting goaltender. So, obviously, this was a big game for Mastelers. And he performed well compared to this season. He's had a little bit of a rough season this year. So what went right for him in this game?
Well, for a guy like Steve Mastelers, it's mostly about rhythm. That first shot went right off the post against him, But he recovered real quick after that, 28 saves in the game. And, most of the time he starts letting in a goal and then it's like a domino effect. But, I think Steve really collected himself, went on, had a great game. There were 2 quick goals scored on him in about an 18-second span into the third period, and we've seen UMass give up some third period leads in the past. But, the defense really hunkered down. They rallied around their goalie, and UMass was able to hold on.
Well, that was a great win for the Minutemen. Definitely a good rebound after that game previous against Northeastern, so that's great to see. But now we have an exclusive interview, and that's right here in the studio. Our own Tommy Calautti will be interviewing Frank Vatrano, forward for your UMass hockey team. Vatrano has an impressive 16 goals and 9 assists for the UMass attack this season. So Tommy, take it away.
All right, Frank, thanks for coming into the studio.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So, we heard 16 goals, 9 assists. You see a lot of your play on the ice. Tell everyone at UMass, who is Frank Vatrano? What should we know about him? What do you want the world to know about you?
I'm kind of a people person, hardworking guy. I like to earn everything I have. I love to be around, just like people in general. My teammates. I think if guys tell you, I'm a fun person to be around. I'm constantly making jokes and all that. So. Aside from hockey, I can be a little bit intense, but away from the rink and in the locker room, I'm a pretty laid-back person.
All right, so let's talk about the team itself. I mean, every locker room has its own personality. You get the jokester, you get Mr. Captain Serious, Taves Ovechkin. Tell us a little bit about what it's like to be in your locker room, like the atmosphere that has.
I think we have a very good atmosphere in our locker room. I think there's different sets of groups of people. I think, when it's practice, I think guys, more laid back, we have music playing in the locker room, and all that. And, when game time comes around, you have the serious guys, like Steve Massler is a very serious guy before the game, takes that stuff very intense. And, you have me and like Ray Pagosi, guys like that who are, we have to kind of stay away from those guys because we like to joke around a little bit and we don't want to distract them. But I think we have a bit of a mix of, kind of a different locker room environment depending on what day it is.
Now, this maybe kind of a touchy subject, but what's Coach Calautti like? I've seen him in the post-game interviews. I think he loves me from what I've seen. But what's Coach like behind the scenes?
Coach Mick's a really big motivator. He's constantly pushing you to be the best you can be, and he's not much of a yeller. He just has that stern tone of voice. When you do something wrong, and he starts talking like that. You've done something wrong, but
I haven't gotten that stern
tone. No, not
yet,
you, but
not yet.
A few of the guys on the team have got it, and it's just him because he cares about you a lot, and he's just always pushing you to be as best you can be.
Now let's get down to the hockey subject. Now, I mean, I played since I was 4, and Coach Calautti didn't show up at my high school scouting me. So, what made you special enough? What makes you such a dynamic player, in your opinion?
For me, I think when people watch the games, my shot stands out a lot, and I like to create offense that way. Guys go in the net and putting pucks in like that. But I think I just work hard every shift. I try to give my all, like basically playing every shift like it's my last, and constantly trying to keep up in the play, making hits and making plays like that.
Well, I mean, like we said, you had 16 goals and 9 assists. You had, I believe, top 10 in points, top 5 in goals. So, what do you think helps you to put up those kind of points on a team like this?
I think my teammates have been great for me this year. I got off to a bit of a slow start. I haven't played in competitive hockey in about a year and a half, and I'm not using that as an excuse. But my teammates were great with me the whole year. They've been helping me build chemistry with them ever since day one. I credit all of my success to them.
So who do you, I know the lines have bounced around. We already talked about injuries in the lineup. But tell us, some of the guys you've been playing with and who you like to play with the most.
I've been for the majority of the year, I've been playing with Steven Yakubellis and Ray Pagosi, and I think all three of us play a different kind of style of hockey, which I think molds together really well. I'm more of like a shooter, and I like to create offense with my shot, and Ray plays it really up tempo and likes to make plays. He's a great passer, and Steven Yakubellis, I think he's like one of the hardest workers in the league and on our team. He likes to create plays down low and be really physical, even though he's a smaller body. So I think the way all three of us play, it really works well together.
Yeah, you, Jill, and I talked before the segment about how your offense has jumped, and I'd attribute most of that to the power play. You've especially been really great on the power play and with the infusion of Brandon. What do you think has changed over the past year that has really made the power play and other special teams so much better for UMass?
I think it's been good. I think we have a good mix of guys out there. I think on our power play unit we have 4 forwards and 1 defenseman. So I think everyone plays the positions the coaches have done really well. And obviously having Brandon up on the top of the power play is a really dynamic player. And I think he brings a lot to the table and helps us in a big way.
Now, I want to talk a little about the Hockey East itself being in such a great league. I don't want to take shots at any of the other teams, but, football, you see some of the teams they play, even basketball. What's it like playing against such high-caliber competition, knowing you're playing against guys that are definitely going to the NHL?
It's awesome. Hockey East, every night you have to bring your A game in order to even, have a shot in winning. I think that's what's so great about our conference. You have to bring everything to the table, night in, night out, and you can see it. You can see we've been, people have been picked us to be at the bottom of the league, and ever since Christmas break, we've been upsetting teams and playing really well. So just like that, I think teams come in underestimating us, and we bring it every night since break. So I think if we keep doing that here down the road, I think it's going to be a very fun season for us.
Now, like you said, you guys have definitely picked it up over break, beating Merrimack, who was 14, U Lowell 12, being in games against BU and Northeastern. Do you think anything has changed over the course of the season? Is there anything you guys are doing better, or do you think it's just becoming a more cohesive unit?
I think just we're such a young team this year. I think we have a small roster this year, and we have 10 freshmen that are in the lineup every night. So I think it's just getting them kind of used to college hockey and kind of what it's all about. I know it can be overwhelming at first. You're playing really good competition. I think ever since break, everyone's came back ready and focused, and I think that's been huge for us.
Now, people look at the record, 18-1. They say probably not that great. What do you say to the naysayers about why this team is better than what its record shows?
I think it's, the record, it shows that it's not very good, but I think in some of the games that we've lost, we've been in them. I know, even the past couple of years, like last year, we lost so many games by just one goal, and I think just that little difference there, and I think, we bring everything every night. We try hard and, try to put pucks in the net whenever we can. I think that's why, we're a good team.
So what can we expect from the Minutemen going forward? Last couple of games of the season, trying to make that final playoff push. You guys feeling it?
Yeah, I think we have such high confidence now, especially after that big win over UMass Lowell. But if we keep playing like that, I think there's great things to come for us here down the stretch.
I don't want to get too corny, but all interviewers go into this kind of stuff. What does the sport of hockey mean to you? I mean, it was huge for me growing up. Obviously, that dream was broken at the end of high school. I guess third line wasn't good enough. But, what does it mean to you, being able to be a college hockey player knowing you got a shot at playing at higher levels?
Yeah, since I was a young kid, hockey's been a big part of my life. I've created friendships through hockey, and even now it's just creates such a close-knit group, which is what I love about it. Everyone on your team's like a brother to you, and that's just what I love about it. It brings you such great friendships and all that. So it's been awesome.
So, I mean, just to finish up, anything you want to say to Minutemen fans about the future or about what's going on with the hockey program?
Hopefully you see what we see in these recent games and push forward here down the stretch.
All right, Frank, thanks for being here. It's really
appreciated. Thank you very much.
Good luck with the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, and now we're going to head to break, and when we come back, Chris will take you up on the basketball segment. We'll see you on the other side.